All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Once again, Wrestling Paradox Podcast is here to review the Wednesday Night Wars. This is a new segment on the show. We're going to be focusing a lot on the Wednesday Night Wars and getting this rolling. Every Thursday, we're going to be looking at the night before, seeing who won, lost, everything going on. All right, we're going to keep you up to date the best that we can. All right, so I got my main man Chris on the other mic.
What up? What up?
Chris, go ahead and lead it off, man. Jump us in, AEW.
All right. So we got Dynamite. It started off with the Inner Circle trying to pawn off those Super Bowl shirts, the Stadium Stampede shirts, which they actually look pretty hard. They're pretty good. I want to get a box. Started off with a little. I mean, I like it. It's old school. It's old school. Like, we didn't win, but we're the heels.
I didn't. When they brought out the shirts, I was like, don't those things usually get shipped to like other places after that doesn't happen?
But I want one. I'll take 3. Like they look really good. But the first match was Private Party, and Janela versus Bucks and Matt Hardy. We got old school Matt Hardy, like pre Hardy Boys.
Yeah, like 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1996.
A lot of big spots. I really like Joey Janela and Private Party tagging.
Of course you do. I am so sick of Joey. God, see, there we go. I am so sick of Joey Janela on my TV on Wednesday nights. I'm done with this. I'm done.
I really
I destroyed my fucking room. I'm sorry.
I really like them tagging together. I actually can see. I mean, if you've seen over the past couple of weeks with AEW, it almost looks like they're going in the direction of like a 6-man tag belt.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. I think they're gonna rob that idea out of ROH.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna bring out
and like WCW. Remember WCW?
Yes.
With 3 count.
Shane, yes, Shane Helms. God, shout out Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel that coming too. But I don't know. I'm just this whole like 3-man tag in the tag team division. I have a lot to talk about tonight with Jimmy Havoc, and I'm not happy. But go ahead, continue.
There was a lot of big spots. You could see that it was like too much of spots. Mind you, I'm not a corny fan, not a culture cornet. It was a little too. It was a little too spotty for me. Compared to other matches on Wednesday night, but it told a good story. It told especially when right off, like within 5 minutes, they duck a super kick and kicks Butcher or Blade in the face. Yeah. And they start going at it. I knew something was up. I knew it was either going to turn into a story between the Bucks and Butcher and Blade, which I'm cool with. I like both of them. Yep. But the match was very good. JR, very funny on commentary right after that happened because he made a reference about it. He goes, hey, at least the wrestlers aren't behind plexiglass. I popped so much off of that. I'm like, dude, like this just like digging it in. I think Cassidy and Quinn are a very underrated tag team. There's just nothing that they can't do. Mm-hmm. They can technical wrestle, they can spot, they can fly, and just some of the moves are very innovative. Like just like their finishing gin and juice is phenomenal. I love it.
One thing about them is they're not very sloppy. They seem to be very safe in the ring, and what they do is what they know how to do. They're not going out there and being like, "Hey, I just thought of the spot tonight. Let's try it for the first time." No, they're what they do. They make sure that they honed it and they figured out how to do it the safest way possible. So that's one thing I give them. They're not very sloppy in the ring. There's not a lot of like, bad spots from them.
You know who broke them into the business?
Primetime players.
Nope. The Amazing Red.
What? I haven't heard that guy's name for a long time.
Yeah, the Amazing Red broke them in because they're New York boys. You know, they just started wrestling in HOG and House of Glory. They and Amazing Red gave them an opportunity, saw something in them, and they just took off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
big.
Amazing Red is actually one of the participants in one of my favorite matches. Like, I know I'm in the minority for that, but that X Division match with him, Motor City Machine Gun, Suicide, Homicide, dude, that was such a great match. That's like a 17-minute match, and I can watch it all day. It was such a great match. But quick shout out, Amazing Red. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
The thing also I loved is being as how up there in age Matt Hardy is. He did a killer moonsault. I mean, just
Yeah, he definitely rewound time to that last night. It was fun to see when he came out as broken, or when they showed him as broken in the background. And I was just like, oh man, this is what we're gonna get every week. And
yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I was genuinely surprised when I saw him come back as Hardy Boy. I was like, oh man, I'm popping, man, like 2002 all over again, you know?
And I love it. I love it how they're going back and forth between each, the Hardy Boy character, the evolution of Matt Hardy, basically,
Yeah.
Ended with more bang for your buck, but Hardy, I noticed that Hardy didn't realize that he was the legal man, and he just stood there, and you can see Matt like look at him like, you gonna make the pin? Like, you knew something was up. I even took down on my notes that Mark Quinn worked an injury. You could see he worked it. Because he, pulled Matt Hardy in, and then he pulled, Cassidy in, and everything like that. You could see it was going to be staged, and you could also see that why would the Bucks just stay in the ring by themselves, to celebrate?
Yes. And
but,
we had such a beautiful surprise. I cannot tell you how hype I hate
how they drove around yep.
They did exactly what Cody thought he looked like.
I mean, first off, they
Truck entrance of the year.
but first off, let's just say this: they look like Deuce and Domino from like 2008 in SmackDown. Dude, okay, they just came out.
And I hated the Revival. I was popping so hard to see them last night. I was losing my shit in here. It was crazy.
I'm like, this is in the first 15 minutes of the program. I'm like,
dude,
what?
When did their 90-day end?
They didn't have one.
They didn't. Mm-hmm. So they could premiere weeks ago.
Yeah, because the reason why is because they asked for their release. So, and they asked for their release before the pandemic.
True.
So, and I love how I just love that old school field when it could be a singles, it could be a tag team when they go in and save the day, and you don't know which one they're going to go attack.
Yeah, I didn't
love that.
Yeah, I was a little irked. I was like, oh man, I kind of want to see that confrontation of them, Young Bucks and Revival, and because Revival, to me, Revival is such like a 1980s tag team. They're so stiff. They work good. They work smart. They cut the ring in half. They know how to be that team. And the Young Bucks are more showy, poppy, spot. They're not going to let them flop around like that. Right. Revival's going to punch them in the mouth. And it's, man, I know, but it's, I don't know, man. I just want to see the Revival come in there and shake some shit up.
Well, first off, it's not the Revival. It's
I know. It's
Fear the Revolt. Fear the Revolt.
Sorry.
Don't get copyright infringement. It's only our second week. But I see this playing out is I see FTR going in a story and a battle with Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope.
That's a team to attack right there, man. I don't know. I'm glad to see a surprise entrance make me pop a little bit, because when Butcher and Blade debuted,
20 minutes in the first 20 minutes,
when Butcher and Blade debuted, I was like, oh, that's cool. You come through the ring, you cut the ring. I think they cut the ring at the middle of the show.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, so that was a hole in the ring. That's cool. And so that was kind of boring to me. The last pop I really had from this company was Santana Ortiz showed up. When LAX took off the mask, I popped for LAX. But it's been a while since we had a good surprise entrance. I'm very happy to see FTR in there. That's something, and I want to see them do well, man. I really do.
And
I
how
think they
good do Butcher and the Blade look, by the way?
they look good. I wasn't a fan of Butcher and the Blade. I didn't like the alignment with MJF, but nah, if they're doing their own thing like this, and hopefully they win some matches
Well,
soon.
the bigger guy. Which one is that? Is it the Blade?
The
No, he's
drum,
the Butcher. He's the Butcher.
the
He's the
drummer though,
guitarist.
isn't he? Or
No, the
guitarist?
guitarist. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the Butcher. He slimmed down.
Yeah, he lost a little weight, man. He took that shirt off. He looked good.
Yeah, he slimmed down. He's I think during quarantine, maybe him and Blade, hit the weights and everything like that. But I thought that was a great way to start off the show. So you want to do the next match?
Yeah. So let me see here. Oh, you kind of put me on the spot there, man. Put me on the spot. Let's see. We have Mox on the announce table. He comes out for Cage versus what was this? What was his name?
Lee Johnson.
Lee Johnson? Is it Lee Johnson? Yeah. It's a squash match from the start with Cage and Lee Johnson coming out. It was just to make a statement to Mox, obviously, and I enjoy Mox talking a little bit. I like him on the announce table. He brings a little pep to the step with that. So that's always nice to hear him talk. But yeah, Cage coming out, and dude, you called it. You called it. You called it with Brian Cage with that. He's Brian Cage.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Survive. What was it?
Beat him if you can. Survive if you let him. Bro.
Mm-hmm. That was, man, he's awesome, man. I don't know. I'm popping for Cage right now. I don't like the fact that we don't know when this match is happening. I understand with everything going on, but Fyter Fest, like, pick a date, man. Just pick a date.
Seriously. I kept laughing every time that JR said, "Oh, sometime this summer."
Sometime this summer. That's all I can hear right now. Sometime this summer, man. I'm not. I don't know. That doesn't hype me up. And also, I do not like the fact that I like the Money in the Bank concept. I love, like, after a Hell in a Cell match, after whatever kind of match, that match can happen right then and there. That surprise element. Let that be for that poker chip, man. Yeah. That thing is awesome. Let them, like you said, Brian Cage should have went out Saturday night after that Mox match, pin him 1, 2, 3, and shake the whole foundation of AEW. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you lost something there, because now I don't see Brian Cage winning this match. Somehow I don't see Brian Cage winning this match. I feel like they're keeping that title on Mox. I don't see the title going off Mox for a little bit.
Unless Brody Lee gets involved and says that he never beat me, the ref stopped.
Okay, so disqualification, whatever. I just don't see the title coming off Mox there. And then you have the Double or Nothing. That whole thing doesn't really mean anything at this point if Brian Cage loses on the first time someone cashes it in.
Right. I mean, actually, what I think they're probably going to do for All Out is be a triple threat. I think if you bring Brody Lee in, have him disqualify, either Cage so that Moxley gets the belt, then you set up for a triple threat at All Out. All Out. I had the same notes. I said squash from word go. Taz gets on stick, calls out Mox, ends it with, he's Brian Cage, the Machine. Beat him if you can, survive if he lets you. And I popped. I popped. I'm like, because Taz was one of my favorites back in the 90s. I love Taz. I love this gimmick.
You talk about him all the time, definitely.
Yeah. The next segment I could have done without. It's the Britt Baker segment.
Yep.
I didn't really understand it. It was just too much to get to. I'll see you at All Out.
Yeah, I didn't like that whole conspiracist thing or whatever it is that she was talking about, but I am beginning to like Britt Baker as a heel. It's coming along so great. I can tell her and Adam Cole are just sitting at home in Orlando and they're shooting back and forth on each other. Yeah, it's just showing in her, her confidence in talking now. Like, she has become Britt Baker, the heel. And I enjoy watching her. I used to want to flip the channel when she came on. Not anymore, man. She's fun to watch, definitely, for me. So
I actually took a note. Do you follow Tony Schiavone on Twitter?
No, sir.
Okay.
Shout out Twitter real quick.
Yes.
Follow us at Paradox or at Podcast Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast Paradox. Yes, sir. We are on Twitter. That is my first Twitter, by the way. I'm sorry. So I don't follow. I use Instagram.
Tony Schiavone, I guess AEW and Tony Khan and all the whole team on AEW had like a Memorial Day celebration, either Sunday or Monday, and Tony Schiavone and Britt Baker took a picture together. The picture was later removed about an hour after it was put up.
Let me guess, Britt Baker was standing up, just regular person?
No,
Or is she
Adam
really
Cole.
tearing
Adam Cole
ACL?
was in the background.
Oh. What did you just say to me?
Yeah. Adam Cole was in the
Really?
background. And then Tony Schiavone put it back up about 20 minutes later with it cut off.
Yeah.
So
Now, was Britt Baker? Did Britt Baker really tear her ACL, or is this? Because she said, "I'll see you it all out." So is that what she looked like in the picture?
All you saw was neck up. You couldn't really tell.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's work. She was like, "I'll see you it all out." Okay, so is this a work? Is this?
I don't know. I mean, torn meniscus. I think it's just a whole bunch of hoopla about it. Just a little torn meniscus that can take only about 3 months to heal up with no surgery, just physical therapy.
We're bowlers. We know we're bowlers.
Yeah. But I just think it was a lot to get through just to tell. I'll see you in September. The next little snippet was Inner Circle interview, and my boy walks in the background. Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed.
Oh my God.
Jericho stops the interview and calls
Pockets.
Orange Cassidy at him. Just calls him Pockets. What I love is it Ortiz that got his bell rang? The one that
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Ortiz.
I loved it. I loved it that he played that the whole night.
Yeah. And then he got the headphones at the end. I can hear.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. They're gonna skip our show now. Go on. Clip it.
Retake. Oh, we're live, pal. Oh, this is live?
Yeah, right. All right, Psycho Sid. Jeez. All right, so you got next match.
All right.
I want to get your opinion about this next match.
All right. Next we have Chrissy James, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Versus Shiro. So I don't know. The very beginning, the whole dancing thing in the ring, I'm not a fan of that. I get it. It's for the crowd. It's for the TV. You're playing that, but you're the champion. You're the champion of the company right now. Take it serious. What are you dancing around in for? But Chrissy James picks up some heat, which I really liked. I always like to see a heel go out with the top. And, so she got some heat there. It was a good showing for Chrissy James. I don't know a lot about her, but I was impressed. Definitely, she showed she got a little something in the ring tonight, and hopefully we will see her more in the future. So
yeah, I put that James can move. She played the heel part very, very well.
She did very well.
She kicked the knee of Shida right when she was about to dance. I put quotations around that too in my notes. And then Shida hulked up. I thought it was a decent women's match.
I don't like the way it ended with a Falcon Arrow. You're telling me a Falcon Arrow can put people away in AEW, but Seth Rollins gets only 2 every week on it. So
he's the Monday Night Messiah. Come on. And soon to be baby daddy. So
yeah. But no, hey, this is the Wednesday Night Wars. We do not speak of Monday night characters.
Yeah, okay? You're right. We're not fishing a fish tank. So
yeah.
Right. So next segment was Cody, which I thought was very peculiar.
Hold on. We have a picture-in-picture commercial here.
Okay.
And we see Omega and Hangman.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
And then Omega looks to the left like he doesn't. Am I supposed to believe that he doesn't know a camera's in his room? Am I supposed to believe this? Because it was funny. It was this was funny. I liked it. It was cool, but I can't not believe that. That just, I don't know. I guess it's the kayfabe in me. I'm not letting it die. It's still real to me. So
damn it, still real. Damn it.
It's a PG show, man. Fuck. Um,
I I actually like the funny comedic side of Kenny Omega because it's so dry. It's so dry and it's so funny. Like I mean, he goes to drink the milk and the milk like just goes all over him, and he just sits there like it's nothing, you know.
yeah, I put in my earlier note when I watched him. I put it in a note earlier in the opening segment with the Hardys or with Hardy and Bucks backstage and Omega and Hangman walk out. I was like, man, can Hangman or can Omega take an acting class in the States, please? You have to have ties to someone, man. Get some acting classes, bro. And he doesn't. I don't know. Like you said, he's a little stale for me. He's almost like
Oh,
Jerry
I love
Seinfeld.
it, man.
I don't know. I'm not a.
I love
I
it. I
guess,
love
I
it.
guess. To each his own.
You don't know why? Because it's not forced. It's not forced. He just dry. He's not gonna like But
Yeah.
the next segment is it started off weird to me, and this is the reason why. Cody walks out with Arn Anderson, and then Arn turns around and leaves.
Yeah.
I don't understand that too well. If I was Cody and he was my mentor and my coach, I'd have him come everywhere I go. Say, this is why I think you're getting a Cody heel turn soon.
I hope so, man. I
I
hope so.
think you're, but I love. I love the brass balls that AEW has. When Cody compares himself to Brady, saying that he's just like Brady, that Brady's not welcome in Boston, just like I'm not welcome back in Connecticut.
It's
Like,
a little slick.
bro, like, man. And then he points at Billy Gunn and goes, "You know what I'm talking about." Like,
That,
I,
yes, that was very. That's Cody, man. It doesn't surprise me anymore. Cody, the chair at what was it, All In last year,
yeah,
or double was it All In where he took the sledgehammer to the chair that looked
yeah.
like Triple H.
Hmm.
Like he does that. That's who he is. I don't know. I did find it funny in the interview. He was like, I'm not like my brother. I didn't get all the genes and genetics. And I was like, well,
The
you sure
Dusty
got
Jeans.
you got the list, bro. You got the
Hmm.
list. I can't listen to this guy talk for more than 2 minutes. God. You there, man? What's going on over here?
I'm here.
There you are.
Yeah.
But
I just hope that he doesn't have a lot of words with double S's a lot.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah. All right. So your next match is the one that you wanted to talk about.
I feel like Ken Anderson right now. All right, next match. Kip Sabian, the walking coronavirus, versus
Hey.
SCU, established together for I can't tell you how long, tag team. And okay. All right, so I'm just to go through the match. First thing I do like about Havoc and Sabian, we know who the heels are in this match. They set that aside right out the gate. You know who the heel. I have a hard time in AEW sometimes figuring out who the heel is and who the face is. It's very wishy-washy for me. So I like that. I did have a problem with Havoc putting fingers in Kazarian's mouth. That bugged me a little bit as a human being. Right now, if you put your fingers in my mouth, I'm going to be a little upset. So not a fan of that move there. But, I was typing my thoughts as I'm watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of this, I want to keep this family appropriate a little bit.
Gotcha.
We might be way past that. But,
Right.
There's just, I don't know. There was quick tags. They were getting heat on Kazarian. So, which I liked, and then Kazarian got the hot tag, but when Kazarian got that hot tag, he tagged in and he was on defense in under 2 minutes against Sabian and Havoc.
Right.
Like, come on, bro, you were going heads up with Jericho. Like where's that same guy? I don't know. Maybe I'm not a fan of burying. It might not be called burying anymore, but burying SCU to this makeshift tag team that's been together in less than a month. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. That's it. But not a fan of it.
I thought it was a good match.
It was a good match. It had its
Yeah.
spots. It did have its spots. I give it. Havoc is learning something, and I like it. I give Havoc that credit. It had its spots, but I'm not okay with that ending. And what happened to Best Friends? Isn't Best Friends #1 contender?
Yeah, but they get the shot at Fyter Fest.
Yeah, I
but here's my. Well, actually, no, it's not at Fyter Fest. It's in 2 weeks because whoever won that match last night gets Hangman Page next week, and then the week after.
So why did they call it a #1 contenders match at Double or Nothing? It wasn't really. You're the #2 #1 contenders.
I mean, it was a pre-show. Remember? Who cares?
You're right.
We're on two different ends of the spectrum. You say that Havoc is learning a lot in the ring. I have in my notes, not a fan of Havoc in tag match. I have it in bold letters. Not a fan. It just looks like he just doesn't fit in.
No, he doesn't.
You know, I love when Kazarian hits the big slingshot RKO. I love it. He makes it look so effortless. Penelope Ford gets involved. My heart pitter-pattered.
Which one?
I said heart. I love the finishing move that Havoc and Sabian won on, though. The Michinoku driver with the drop kick. Yeah. I think that was pretty cool. And I wrote that, they have Hangman and Omega next week. I really like Scorpio Sky, man. Yeah. I really do.
Yes.
I can see Scorpio Sky turning heel and leaving Daniels and Kazarian. The only reason why is because I watched Scorpio Sky way before ROH. I watched him in Championship Wrestling of Hollywood when it was him, Joey Ryan, he was the flagship for that show. He held that company together. And I think he can have a great solo career in AEW.
Definitely.
Maybe not heavyweight championship-esque, because with all the names that they're bringing in, and everything like that. Because like you talked about last week with Brock Lesnar. If you get into a match, can you see Scorpio Sky getting into a match or a fight with Brian Cage and beating him?
I don't know. It's tight, man. Probably not.
Right.
Probably not. Right.
Oh, another thing I wrote on my notes. I wrote it underneath and I lost it. During the first match, I didn't realize how tall Matt Hardy was.
All right, go ahead, because I have something I'll share later. Next segment.
I didn't realize how tall he was, because he dwarfed the Young Bucks, and I know they're not tall guys, but they're still 6 foot, 6'1".
Yo, I met the Young Bucks at SuperCon last year, and I stood eye to eye. I'm 5'10". Mm-hmm. I stood eye to eye with Matt, and Nick was just a little taller than me.
Right.
But they're I guess Matt Hardy is pretty tall then. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's the way that WWE shot their matches and shot their, it made Matt and Jeff look tiny.
Yeah.
I guess because AEW's camera now is, almost ring level. Mm-hmm. And him standing on the apron, it just caught my eye. I'm like, holy cow, this guy is tall.
Yes. Yep.
So sorry.
All right, let's get into this next match. Yeah. The Battle Royale.
Yeah.
First things first, you have MJF cutting a promo. The promo was about being held down, all the heel things. Nobody in the top office likes him, really like that. So he's in the Battle Royal. And then he made a comment to Wardlow about if we're the last two guys, Wardlow knows what to do. And Wardlow kind of steps up like, what? So that plants a seed in my head for, the heel turn. However,
well, how do you have a heel turn if you're already a heel?
How do you have a heel turn if you're already a heel? Wardlow turns face. I see that coming.
Here's the thing that I have with that. The only problem I have with that is We don't know enough of Wardlow to have him as a face.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? There's nothing. I mean, the vignettes when he came into the company, he was beating up people in a parking garage.
Yeah.
They molded him as a heel from the get-go. So it's like,
all right, so two heels going at it, essentially.
Yeah, it's gonna be
so
unless he. The only way he can get over as a face is if he turns his back on MJF.
Yeah,
If
that's
he
what I'm
costs,
saying.
that's the only way.
I mean, this is one thing that I see. Why not you build up? Okay, so how about this? You have MJF and Cody going at it for the TNT title, and Wardlow probably throws in a white towel.
No, it's copying.
Play a little story.
No,
I mean that would play into the story, and then he gets in and beats down MJF. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's one way to do it, I guess.
Or MJF
have
orders
what MJF did to Cody be done to him.
Or MJF orders Wardlow to interfere and beat up Cody, and he goes to punch Cody, hits MJF. MJF loses. They get up. MJF goes to smack him. Then he beats him down. I can see that happening.
Well, MJF popped him in the eye with the ring on Thursday or last night.
Yeah.
He caught him. So there's a seed there. It's being planted. It's definitely
you're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. God damn. All right. So MJF, first of all, Luther's bump from a chokeslam from Luchasaurus. That was disgusting. I didn't realize how big Luther was. I thought he was a little smaller. Last time I saw him, he was standing next to Awesome Kong. So anybody looks tiny to that behemoth. So that was a little interesting. That bump was disgusting. MJF and Wardlow getting heat on Sonny Kiss. I like that. That was
hey, you're missing a big factor in the match.
Wait, go ahead.
Ortiz and Santana jumped Cassidy from behind.
Yeah, that said that, from the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So
they hit him from behind, and he was out for 75% of the match.
Yeah.
In my notes, I wrote down, what is with AEW and battle royales, where the guy that's always in either the final two or the final four is out of the match for 75 to 80% of the match.
They stole that from Austin and Vince.
Because I mean, if you look at it, the first AEW battle royale that they had for the number one contendership that Hangman won, MJF was outside. He never went into the ring.
Yep. Classic heel.
Brian Cage, he got buried under rubble, I guess. And then hulked up. So Orange Cassidy. I love Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. So we have I had a thought in my head as I'm typing this. Again, my thoughts I'm typing. Why is Marco Stunt this far into the goddamn match? Why is he still in this match after 3 minutes?
Again, this goes back to, I think they're setting up for a 6-man title belt.
Yeah.
Because you had all three of Jurassic Express at the at the 5 or 6.
You mentioned
big turn of events. You had Colt Cabana getting offered a Dark Order slip, and he pocketed it.
Does he have pockets in the
singlet? He probably put it in his elbow pad, in the bullseye elbow pad. Billy Gunn was eliminated by MJF.
Billy Gunn, that's where you mentioned Matt Hardy being tall.
Yes.
How come Billy Gunn wasn't portrayed as a monster? He's the same size as Luchasaurus.
How about bigger? Do you know he's the same size as Hulk Hogan?
Dude.
Same height. Same exact height.
Bro, why did Billy Gunn always get portrayed as not this huge guy?
I don't know, man.
And they hit it so well because I didn't catch it. All these years, I didn't catch it. I saw him stand face because I've always thought, damn, Luchasaurus is a big dude. And then I see Billy Gunn and him stand face to face, and Billy Gunn's a little bigger. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how have I missed this for 25 years of my life?
I think it goes back to what I said. I think it's how WWE shot their stuff.
Dude, I swore The Rock was like huge compared to Billy Gunn at the King of the Ring in what was it, 99, 2000?
Maybe he wears lifts. You never know.
Maybe, man. I don't know. But I want to see him in Austin. I want to see him in Austin a little more. The Gunn
Yeah.
family, I want to
Oh,
see
I
them
talked
more.
about it last week. I said, why aren't they
Yeah.
in the matches? Like, but I loved how MJF, we're always going to go back to heels because I'm a big heel guy. MJF gives Billy Gunn the suck it after he eliminated him.
Yeah.
I
I
loved
love
it.
I like it. I like it. I'm all about it. All about
it. Then you had the whole spot like you talked about where MJF went to go punch Cassidy. Cassidy ducked. Wardlow gets hit with the ring. And then Jungle Boy and Cassidy eliminate both MJF and Wardlow. Here's what I would have set up. Here, you want me to give me the pen and paper? I would have set up the turn, have MJF eliminate Wardlow.
Yeah, I mean, he essentially set that up for him to get eliminated. So that's kind of where I was at too. Another seed planted that we're having an MJF Wardlow split. I think it's kind of early. Give him more of the run, but I mean, I guess starts planting the seeds. So
yeah.
Speaking of splits, really quick, and we got to start moving a little quick. Speaking of splits, you have, I mean, how long does Brody Lee keep in the dark? I know this is off topic. I'm sorry. How long does Brody Lee keep in the Dark Order after all this shit he's putting the Dark Order through? I mean, do they play it out like the Vince McMahon storyline? Do they ride it for a little while and tell him he's out of touch? He's, things like that. So
first off, put some spec on his name, okay? It's Mr. Brody Lee.
Brody Lee. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, man.
I really like it. I don't like with factions. I don't like how there's a lot of people. Like Inner Circle, Jack Swagger, Jack Hager doesn't need to be in it. Sammy Guevara doesn't need to be in it. I wouldn't mind just having LAX and Chris Jericho.
I do like having Sammy Guevara riding with Chris Jericho, though. I do like that.
Yeah.
It's helping him a lot.
Or how about they turn on Hager and kick him out for losing, and everything like that. I don't like so many people in Dark Order, especially if you don't know who they are. You don't need them.
That's how I felt about the NWO.
Exactly. That's what ruined WCW. That's what ruined NWO. I mean, like, who wants to see Scott Norton matches? Like, well, who wants to see, like, Van Hammer? Like,
I want to see more Judy Bagwell matches, damn it.
I want to see Horace Hogan. Ooh. Yeah. Like, I mean, geez. Then I think it's next we have the Inner Circle pep rally.
Yes, I was a fan of this spot. Not towards the end. I'm not going to spoil what it was, but yes, I was a fan of this spot. I like the gifts, best dad jokes. It was great, man. Throwing the T-shirts in the crowd throwing them back. It gave me a little ECW one night stand vibe.
I loved Hager's poem and how he got serious at the end and like a sociopath.
Yeah,
like it's sociopath, and then he goes, "I'm happy." The end. I loved it. Again, that's dry sense of humor. That's what wrestling needs. That's what a wrestler needs is dry humor. Because The Rock's promos are really good, right? Yeah. But if they're too funny, someone wrote them.
You fruity pebble, bitch.
Right. So, like, that's why I like Omega and his jokes. They're dry. And I like Hager's. I mean, someone probably wrote the poem for him, but just the way he delivered it, he just stared at the camera like a sociopath. And like, your fans are going to be so upset. Like, I'm like, oh, dude, this guy is awesome.
I definitely like Jake Hager a lot more than Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger towards the end brought me I was having fun with that with Zeb Coulter, but I like this version of Jack Swagger.
Yeah. Then this is where it lost me. When Tyson came out.
Not a fan.
Not
a fan. Vitor Belfort out there with him.
Oh, first off, Vitor Belfort, Henry Ciedo. You had Vitor Belfort. You had the guy from Jersey Shore on there.
What guy was from Jersey Shore? Who was that?
Jay Wild's boyfriend.
Oh.
They named him 24.
I didn't
he was 24 years old. Yeah. He was actually in the crowd, and I noticed him. Don't ask me why. I saw only one episode, or I saw a clip on Facebook of this guy because I like JWoww. I don't know why.
So, Chris, you know, after this podcast is over, we're gonna have to have a little talk about what our plans are for the future.
But also,
Aaron, expect a call.
also, Rashad Evans was in the ring.
Was he? I didn't even notice him.
He was the guy in the camo shirt. That's probably why you didn't see him. But he had the twist. He doesn't have the shaved head anymore. He had the twist.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Rashad.
Mm-hmm. Sugar Evans was there.
So let's get into the spot with Mike and Jericho.
Okay.
It is WWF all.
I was just gonna say that
again, and I don't know what to think about this. This is
deja vu. It's deja vu, man. Deja vu, bro. It's deja vu, and also, what's the definition of insanity? Do the same thing over and over and try to get it right and think that everything's right.
Exactly.
I did read. I got a notification on Ringside News. Don't know what a credible source that is, but Tyson was supposed to come out alone. AEW did not know he was coming out with an entourage.
Really?
Yes. Because I think what was supposed to happen is Tyson and Jericho were supposed to get in a pushing match. Then everyone comes out from the back, breaks him up.
Okay.
I think that would have made it a little bit more appealing to me, and I wouldn't have been turned away by so many people in the ring.
Why'd they make Tyson look like he was drunk and like he looked like LeVar Bell or whatever his name is out there, like LeVar Ball. He's like like taking off his shirt and like doing all these weird faces, and I'm like, did he do narcotics before he came outside?
How about remember when I was talking about the camera, the way camera shot in AEW?
Yeah.
By the way, this whole podcast, guys, fans, I'm critiquing cameras. Just letting you know. Cameras. Okay?
They're very important in storytelling.
Joey will know because I've already talked to him about it today. When we get to NXT, I'll tell you why.
Yeah, we're running a little late right now. It's
okay. It's okay.
So
they want to see my moneymaker.
We ask you guys, please stick with us past 45 minutes. It gets good. We swear. Because we're about to make fun of NXT a little bit too.
Yes. The camera shot. Why is it when they were zooming in on Tyson's face that he looked like Evander Holyfield? I thought it was a fake Tyson. I didn't think it was him.
It looked weird, man. He looks, I thought he looked really good because I seen these like 8-second clips of him throwing punches on YouTube, and he doesn't look that great in person. Like seeing him in the ring, I was just like, man,
he had a hard time getting his shirt off.
He had a hard time. Are you ready for a fight, dude? Is he gonna fight somebody? Who is this guy fighting?
And what was with that other guy? What was with the white guy that was with him that had TR and the eyeliner underneath? And what was with that? Like,
I don't know, man. Some things this show does. Some things this show delivers you gold, and as soon as the gold stops pouring out, it's just pure dog shit in your hand. And I'm like watching. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
But I did get. I found the viewer. Okay. Last night, AEW got 827,000 viewers for a .32 in the 18 to 49 demographic.
That is horrible.
No, it's not.
What?
Last week, they got 701,000.
Dude, I look at the numbers. I know wrestling is like just a dying thing now. But, man, you remember the numbers? There were like 2 million viewers on Monday night for each show. It was disgusting. And now we're like, God, can we get 800,000 this week, please?
Okay, so that was, fans, that was AEW Dynamite. Now we're going to go to NXT. And I'm going to take over this first match
Yes,
Okay.
because I
I
walked in, my thing wasn't recording. I'm sorry. So I missed the first half hour. It's all you, Chris.
okay. First off, my first topic, my first note I wrote down, and if you guys can see it, my first note: wrestlers in crowd on NXT look like fish in a fish tank. That's what I put. Um, Drake Maverick versus Kushida and Jake Atlas. Great opening spot. Love the high flying, but strong style spots. Great cruiserweight, to start off. I was a fan of Kushida in Japan and ROH, so I knew a lot about him. I knew he brought the strong style and the submission wrestling and the mat wrestling and everything, and also threw in some high flying. They had a great spot where they did the bridge suplex combo on both guys. Miss spot number one. Kushida goes to do a senton bomb on the Atlas on the outside, barely clears the steel steps, almost hit his head, and it would have been really, really bad. Jake Atlas, I don't know a lot about. I got to be honest, don't know a lot about him, but I really like that rainbow DDT that he does, where he like summer cartwheels on the ring rope and falls into a DDT. I think that is awesome. Not better than my Canadian Destroyer, but I think it is awesome move.
The worst move possible. Sorry.
Now here's where it gets. First off, I think with this magnitude of a match, whoever won this goes to the finals against Phantasmo for the cruiserweight. This match shouldn't go first, especially when you have other things on the card that I'm going to critique even more. This match shouldn't go on. If it goes first on the card, it should be longer than the 12 minutes, 13 minutes that it got. Kushida puts Atlas in an armbar. Then the 3 count happens because Maverick put his arm on top of Atlas. 3 count. Now, with the way the camera is shot, because Kushida's laying on his back, Atlas, his head is facing the camera. Maverick just drapes his arm over it. 1, 2, 3. My thing, I've watched wrestling for 30 plus years. Kushida's leg was on top of Atlas's throat, holding him down. How does Maverick get the win?
Yeah.
Then I think they caught it because when they came back from commercial, they showed a replay of Atlas tapping the ring. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a fudge up. I think they edited it. I think it was a fudge up because, man, I don't.
Maverick's no longer a part of this company, right? Like, isn't he cut?
Yeah, that's the reason why he had to go quiet. Though that's the reason why he had to go quiet, because this is taped. These are all taped. So, then
is
after
there
the
any
match,
opportunity of him winning the title?
I don't think so. I think that's the reason why he was so upset during that video on his social media, is because of the fact that he was in the storyline for the Cruiserweight Championship, and he didn't want to tell people he was in the finals and give it away. So they had a spot afterwards where he's standing next to the belt. Phantasmo comes out. Blah, blah, blah. Then they come back from break and they show the tapping that Atlas shows. Then they go to interview Maverick, and Kushida comes over and says, win the belt. You could see they were trying to fix something. Did you watch the next match? Did you get to see the next match?
Yeah, that's where I jumped in.
Okay.
I did like Imperial's promo for Birch and Larkin. I did like that promo, so that was a good little spot there for them. So we had Shotzi Blackheart versus.
Nope. You're missing one.
Who?
Johnny Gargano.
Oh, Gargano and Keith Lee. Yes, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead. Speak on it.
Johnny Gargano comes out. I love him as a heel. I hated him as a babyface. Hated Gargano as a babyface. I think he can't be a babyface by himself. Him and Tommaso Ciampa as DIY babyface, awesome.
Mhm.
Heel, awesome. Both of them. Gargano issues the Johnny Gargano Invitational and says, anyone on the roster. This is where it lost me. He said, anyone on the roster has a shot against Johnny Gargano and elevate your career. So
you don't seem impressed by Johnny Gargano.
I love Johnny Gargano, but I like him as I love him as a heel. I love his wrestling style. I just don't like him on the mic. I think he's too bland.
Yeah.
And you could see it's written for him. Adrian Alanis. Instead of Adrian Adonis, it's Adrian Alanis comes out and battles Gargano. Gargano makes him submit in less than 2 minutes. And Keith Lee comes on the screen with what's her name? Mia Kim.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was a great vignette. That was a great promo. I really like the vignettes and promos on NXT.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I like.
There's definitely a difference in production between NXT and AEW.
Yeah.
So.
So now you go. Now you go.
Now I got Shotzi Blackheart.
Yes.
Okay, because I have a little problem here. So Shotzi Blackheart comes out and she's riding a children's tank that is designed for my nephew.
Oh.
And
Doug.
Poor Doug. It's designed for a child. Why are we watching this? Why is this child riding out on screen? Not a fan of that.
First off, I thought it was Paige. I thought it was Paige with green hair.
Dude, she's pale. Pale. I don't. Is she Chinese? Like I don't know.
I don't know. Her name's Shotzi, so I have
That's
no idea.
all I got out of it. So
that's all I got.
Anyway, the person she is facing, Raquel Gonzalez, with Dakota Kai. I believe it or not, I do like Gonzalez. She's very strong.
Okay.
She is. She's something almost a little refreshing, a little bit. She's a little bigger than the girls, so it's. I like that. The one
it's
thing
more
I
natural.
did like,
it's more natural.
Yes.
It's more natural.
There is one thing I did like throughout this whole match. She only went down to her knees. She never went to her back. She only went down to her knees twice.
Mm-hmm.
And that was both times into the ropes.
Now let me ask you a question. I'm gonna stop you there, because I said the same thing. Do you think she only went down to her knee twice because she looked very stiff and she looked very green?
Yeah, true.
Okay,
but she looked like a monster. She wasn't selling anything, and I like that. Shotzi was only on offense twice throughout the whole match.
Right.
She was only on offense like twice. If I believe, I don't think I missed anything in that match. But I liked her.
Well, at the end of the match, I don't think you can be on offense when you're almost paralyzed. But keep going.
So, Tegan Knox shows up, takes out Dakota Kai because Dakota Kai was stealing the child's tank for her daughter, apparently. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I like how she stayed on offense. 10 minutes in, Gonzalez still hasn't taken a bump to the mat. That was one of my notes. And I like that. It's different to see.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have someone, because Shayna Baszler is off of there now. I know we got Charlotte and Rhea Ripley kind of holding it down. But I want to see more of this girl, Raquel Gonzalez. I think she's good.
Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. First off, you didn't touch on something. She tried doing the coffin drop at the outside and almost died.
Yes. Oh my god. Where's it at? I wrote it down. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Blackheart does a coffin drop onto the floor and basically knocks herself out.
Mm-hmm.
That was dude. Don't take. I wrote in another one down here. I said these women need to stop taking these bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they're nasty. Some of these bumps, man. I'm like, oh shit.
Okay. Here's my thing with this match. I thought it was okay match. Like you said, with women in wrestling nowadays, everyone thinks that they have to be this fitness model, skinny, this, that, and the other. Raquel Gonzalez, I thought, like you said, refreshing because she looked natural. Like you can see her in the grocery store, and look like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing about this. NXT, get your shit together, man. You have your opening match is to set the finals for your Cruiserweight Championship. Why is that going on first? And you only
that pulls people in. That pulls people in. That's the first thing that they see when oh shit, NXT starting. Let me turn it on. Oh man, I
No,
got a cruiserweight match. What?
no,
Come on.
no. I would put Charlotte Flair there. I would put
Okay, that's what
Charlotte.
I'm saying. You need a big match there.
Yeah,
I understand. I
yeah.
understand that. But the cruiserweights can pull people in because people who are watching it know, okay, there's a tournament going on. This guy's not part of the company no more. Like, what's going to happen in this match? They're going to stick to that match through commercial.
But I would have put because they hyped up the whole week that Charlotte Flair was having a mystery partner. I would have put that right on the opening match.
Yeah.
And put the opening match in the Charlotte Flair.
Don't say any names. Were you impressed by the opening partner?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Do you want me to go?
For who? Killer Martinez and Prince Devitt? Yeah, sure. Open it up.
No.
Wasn't that the next match?
No. Nope.
My shit was off. That was the next match for me.
I might not have taken notes during that, by the way.
Or
vignette.
No, that wasn't a match. That was a promo.
It was a vignette. Yeah, it was a promo. I didn't take notes to that. I didn't take notes during that.
Losing it over here.
It was Rhea Ripley and Sherry,
yes.
Versus Charlotte Flair and her mystery opponent.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. Mystery tag team partners Chelsea Green.
She looked green. Now, hold on. I got to give Mauro Ranallo props here. It won't get over with the crowd if it doesn't get over with the announcers.
Right.
And he sold it.
He tried, man.
He tried to sell it. And one thing I didn't like is if there's a mystery partner, give me a 5-second break in between the music stop and the new music. They played it right away.
Yep.
Give me that 5 second. Oh my God, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Anticipation.
Yes. Yes. I do like Rob Stone, the manager, came out cocky. I did this. I did like that. We need a cocky
Robbie
manager back.
Come on, Robbie E.
I know. I'm trying to give the guy credit here.
Come on, NXT, man, get your shit together. Starts off very slow. Rhea overpowers Green, then goes after Flair. I've never seen a full Green match because she always gets hurt in her matches.
Mm-hmm.
But she looks and acts a lot like Britt Baker.
Yep.
Big miss spot by Cherie going for the tiger kick. I don't know if you noticed that when she went to go for the 619 for the first time.
Yeah, she missed and fell out the ring.
She almost got hurt.
Again.
Like,
these girls be taking nasty bumps, bro. I'm telling you.
And another thing about NXT, the reason why I was talking about swapping the Rhea Ripley match with the first match is you're talking about getting the fans to stick around to watch the whole show. Would you sit through? I'm not being chauvinistic here or anything like that. Would you sit through 2 women's matches in a row?
I was forced to because of this podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were in the, I think if there was a crowd there, it would have been different.
Emptied out. Yeah, I would went to the bathroom.
Yeah, especially if you don't know who Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that match.
Right. So that's why I say NXT, man, get your shit together. Like, I loved it. I loved the women's matches, but I just wouldn't put them both together like that. Flair takes her eyes off of Sheree and turns towards Rhea. Went to go chop Sheree, and Sheree moves and Flair hits Green. I like that. That's the Flair old school shit. Always hitting your tag team partner by mistake, but then always like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Did it look like to you that Charlotte was taking bumps that looked like a face? She didn't look like the bad guy last night to me. It felt like
Rhea Ripley was the bad guy.
A little bit. I don't know if I was in the minority there, but I was with you. Make fun of with you. No, yeah, it felt like that Charlotte was wrestling as the good guy last night.
Now, mind you, I'm gonna be very upfront with all our fans, our 15 subscribers on YouTube, that I don't watch NXT that often. I watch takeovers because that's the only reason why you're supposed to watch it, NXT. But I haven't seen Charlotte Flair in a while. She's gotten a little thick.
Andrade feeding her that Latina topic.
Like the rice and beans has gone to her skin. It's sticking to her hips.
Croquetas.
Yeah.
I miss the Hurricane games, man. I want croquetas again.
Flair. I wrote down a big spot. It was Flair puts the figure 4 on Rhea, and Cherie does a running double stop on Flair to break up the submission.
That was a very quick ending. Right there, that whole transition, how it happened. I was like, oh wait, everything happened so quick. It took me a minute. I had to rewind it and watch it again.
Right. Yeah, it's again, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say NXT, get your shit together a lot. Next, whatever, how long we're gonna do this for. Adam Cole and Steven Regal on a Skype call. I understand what they're doing. I understand it.
Isn't it William Regal?
Oh, whatever. He's the man's man, all right? He's Lord Steven Regal to me, damn it. I love Adam Cole. You know how much I love Adam Cole. I love him as a heel. I hate him as a babyface, kind of like Johnny Gargano. I love this. I loved and hated this because I know why they did the concept, but why?
Did it feel like they were taking jabs at Velveteen over the whole texting thing? That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was like, dude, he's not being prosecuted, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any ground to do this? I mean, I don't know. It was almost like when you remember when Xavier was making Brad Maddox a cuckold, and
this went south.
And they made fun of it on live TV, where Xavier or Biggie and Kofi were like, "So, you have something you want to talk about?"
Yeah. Have you seen any videos lately?
WrestleMania is coming up.
Right,
but I didn't like it. It was very. I didn't like that. I felt like I was watching it and I'm like, wait, are they talking about the sex thing? I don't know what's going on right now.
Right.
So.
Right. And it was very vague at the end of it because when Regal was like, oh, I'm going to find a great location for you guys to have your
It's a gimmick match. It's another gimmick match. Another fucking gimmick match. Here we go. Boneyard, Money in the Bank, all that shit. It's another gimmick match.
They're gonna wrestle in a suede
Pee-wee's Funhouse.
No, it's gonna be in a suede cover air mattress or something like that. And
weird, man. With text messages posted on the wall.
Right. And Adam Cole's gonna have to hit the Panama Sunrise on an air mattress. So,
so we have next. We have come back. We came back from the break. Wait, yes. And then we had. I like the Larkin and Birch promo. That was nice. I do like them a lot. I believe we watched them live before. They're definitely fun to watch. Can we get something more than this from two badass dudes who are just all about fighting? Why is it the peace sign? It's so weird to me. You're throwing a peace sign up, but you're in the ring. You're beating some ass, dude. There's some badass dudes. I don't get it.
I've never seen two badass dudes drink water in a bar.
Yeah, that bothered me a little bit, but it's WWE. They're not going to be drinking beer. You know that. They're not going to do what AEW is doing with Hangman and all that shit. So we get back into the ring. We have the Great Value version of Lio Rush, and Leon Ruff is in the ring.
I didn't think you were going to catch that. I didn't think you were going to catch
Leon Rush,
Ruff
is in the ring.
Just like how your mother likes it, Trebek. Ruff.
Dude. Oh my God, dude. I watched it and I was like, wait, is that Leo? Yeah. They repackaged him.
Wow.
But no, so then you have Ciampa make his way to the ring. The match, I made him comment, this match should go all of 2 minutes. And I believe it went just about 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Hey, how about Leon Ruff getting some offense in where he did the triple jump in the corner and went underneath. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was a little
That was
surprised
pretty
he got
cool,
that in
man.
there, but yes, that was
But
good to see.
you forgot to mention Scarlett Bordeaux
Well, that's where I
following
was
too.
getting to next.
Okay.
That's where I was getting to next.
Okay.
So Scarlett Bordeaux comes out.
Mm-hmm.
She walks down to the bottom of the ramp. I don't like that. I like when they're standing at the top of the ramp. It just makes your presence felt a little more. You're higher. I like that. Bottom
Right.
of the ramp, you're looking up. It doesn't look good to me. And then and then the whole time Ciampa is staring at this woman for a minute and 20 seconds of the match. He's staring at her. The match only goes on less than 2 minutes, and for 3/4 of the match, he's staring her in the face as he's fighting this guy.
Right.
So, she's walking up the ramp, and what bugged me a little bit was she kept turning around and looking back at him. I don't like that. Walk away.
Right.
Just walk. Turn your back on him. Walk away. And then when Colossal Cross, is that his name?
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross comes on the cuts a promo on stage, and she's still looking back at him. And I'm like, dude, look at this, So I didn't like that part of it.
No. She stared at the screen when Karrion Kross was talking,
but then
after when it black, she turned back around and looked at him. Yeah,
I don't like that. Just walk away. Don't stare back. Don't do that shit. It makes you look more powerful doing that. So Kross, I am super, super excited for this match. They are both two hard hitting cats, bro. Like there's some bangers, and this match is gonna be good.
What about the dark vignette promo that he did, bro? Like, yeah, it was like,
I love his character. The entrance. Did you like his entrance? His first entrance that he did.
Well, I liked him in Impact. I thought he was underutilized in Impact. I mean, just like everyone else, but besides my boys Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, the North, one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling right now. But he was just underutilized, man. Like Killer Kross, Then he went against the guy that was trying to stalk Christy Hemme, and it lost me there, And that guy's in NXT too, by the way. I think it's going to be a great match at In Your House. That was my big, bold notes from this match that's going to be a must watch.
Yeah. That's definitely, it's definitely going to be a fun match.
I mean, I can't wait. I mean, before we get into this next match, let's just recap NXT. You had 2 weeks before your pay-per-view, and this card last night didn't do anything for me.
I did like Charlotte and Ripley not touching each other. Right. They're facing each other in 2 weeks. They didn't lay a finger on each other. They never got to each other last night. So that was a good play on that. I like that.
But everything else just did nothing for me. Why do you have Candice LeRae come out during the Black Heart match if she's got Mia Kim at the pay-per-view? Yeah. That confuses a lot of people, especially for someone like me. Like I've already stated, I don't watch NXT that much. But why is she in this? Are they a faction? Are they, I don't get it. Yeah. But the match that everyone's here to see.
Who's here? I got told it was Matt Riddle's last match, and I celebrated. I threw a party. I had balloons out. I hate Matt Riddle. This guy went on Twitter. Nobody would give him a ride to the arena, and he's on Twitter crying. Oh, you suck. No one gives me a ride anymore. It was like a real thing. Like, and I'm like, dude, is this a work? Like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? I do not like this cat one bit.
I think this could have been done on a different show.
I like the setup of the fight pit. I do like that walkway across the top. That was fun to see. They utilized it well. They started up there. They walked out on the ramp. Yeah. And they blinked and they're up there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
First off, they never showed how they got up there. It's like they levitated to get up there. Like
they did Owen Hart right onto it. Oh. Is my mic on?
We're demonetized. We're demonetized now. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought there now.
That was a good 8 foot up though. That was like 8 feet up.
Yeah. I think I would have liked this on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, in your
I
house,
would
I'd have been a good spot for it.
I would have liked it on a pay-per-view. The only reason why I think it should have went longer.
Okay.
Um,
Do you keep Kurt Angle as your special guest ref?
did he really
Does that
play a
make
factor?
sense?
Did he
Does
play
it
a
make
factor?
sense? I don't know
Exactly.
why he was in it.
We had one of our fans tell us today that it was a bloody bloodbath last night.
What?
Yeah, I got texted saying it was a bloodbath. My first note, I said strong style match from the bell. Thatcher got busted open. Hold on. Let me tell you again. Oh, crap. Hold on. My notes just popped up again on the screen. There we go. Thatcher got busted open and lost some teeth, but everyone saw Angle hand him something before Riddle kicks him while on the mat. It was very British catch style wrestling. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed catch style wrestling. Very seldom do you see that anymore. Match went to the top of the pit. Welts all over their bodies. Riddle hits a big floating bro from the top, which I liked. I thought that was cool. I just didn't like the way it ended. I don't think it went long enough.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like on it was Thatcher did the grapevine ankle lock right in front of Angle, and Angle's won multiple titles with that move, and Matt Riddle doesn't tap.
Right.
So and he's hanging over the cage. I would have liked to see someone go on the other side and just get tossed onto the ground. That would have been. I would have liked that a lot better if you utilized the ground a little
Pretty
more
sure
there.
that's murder.
Baron Corbin did it.
Yeah, and his hair is stupid.
Your beard's stupid, pal. So yes, that's pretty much where I got to on that match. I'm sorry, guys, I could not sit through this match. I'm not a Matt Riddle fan. I don't know. I hope he's not coming. You know what? I hope he's going to Raw or SmackDown because I don't watch Raw or SmackDown
He's going
anymore.
to SmackDown. He's going to SmackDown.
Good.
From what I've read,
Good.
he's going to SmackDown.
Good. Go over there because I'm enjoying the Wednesday Night Wars right now, and I don't need this guy on my TV on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I mean, and fans, our millions of fans that we have, and that we're gonna have, like Joey said at the beginning, this is gonna be a recap of the Wednesday Night Wars, because when we were younger, it was the Monday Night Wars, and we both agree that Wednesday night is the real wars, because it's mirror image of each other, kind of.
Yes.
This week, I was excited for AEW, and I was trying to get excited for NXT, but they both fell a little short for me.
Are we going to be live streaming for NXT in your house?
We might. Don't give it away. It's a secret.
Shit.
Come on.
Is this the one?
I can let you know that there was 6 matches for NXT and there was 5 for AEW in a 2-hour show. And I took more notes for AEW than I did for NXT because I was just not a big fan of the NXT product last night. I mean, maybe if you have Damian Priest and Prince and
Prince the
yeah, that's what I always call him. But Finn Balor wrestling or something, then that would get me. But I can tell you that we are not in the minority for fans because only 731,000 watched NXT last night for a 0.13 rating for the 18 to 49 demographic. So that's more than double AEW got. And last week, AEW doubled NXT. NXT only got 592,000.
It's definitely a war, man.
Wrestling,
it's a war
as a whole last night gained a lot. They watched both products, but AEW just put the throttle down on them, and it wasn't even one of their best shows. Let's say you recap, give a grade for both products last night.
I'm going to go. That was a B- show for AEW and a C+ show for NXT. For me.
Okay. I'm gonna be a little too critical. I'm gonna give it about anywhere between a C+ and a B- for AEW. I think they could have done a little bit better. I'm gonna give an I for NXT, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm gonna give it an incomplete. The only reason why is because I think everything's taped. They should have seen the stuff. Unless there's another storyline coming out of the Kushida Maverick thing, and everything like that. I'm gonna give it an I. I'm gonna give it one. I'm gonna get it next week. Maybe they, change my mind next week.
Maybe if I got some more eyes in high school, I wouldn't have to do this show. All right, so that is it. That is the recap of the Wednesday Night Wars. Make sure you let us know in the comments. Whoa.
Wait.
You didn't know?
Dun. On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, we're going to be doing a poll because we're going to do 2 shows a week. One's going to be on Thursdays doing the Wednesday Night Wars, and one on Sunday is going to do a poll show. You guys pick it.
You.
All right. We'll put up
first.
topics. We'll put up topics. You guys pick it. It could be best finishers of the 90s, worst finishers. It could be best entrances, best factions, best era to wrestle in, top 5, and everything like that. And we'll put them up. You guys pick it and we'll talk about it.
That's it right there. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Wrestling Paradox Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast Paradox. What's our Facebook one again?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I just created it today.
Yo, we've been going an hour and a half, man. God. Yeah. Yo, guys, I hope you stuck with us to the end. This was fun. We will talk to you guys soon. Chris is getting Facebook.
It is. Hold on.
It's there. Hold
on. Gotta find it. It'll be there somewhere.
We're killing time. It's something about Wrestling Paradox Podcast. We're there. We'll post up the link.
Yeah, we'll put up the link. I know, man. I know. I think it's called Paradox Pod. I think it's called
Pod.
Paradox Pod. Wrestling in parentheses. Wrestling Paradox Podcast.
You guys will find it.
Because Facebook wouldn't let me put wrestling in as a name.
And, now I see why Trump wants to shut them down. Yo, I'm not turning this political. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you stuck with us to the end. We will catch you next week. Or wait, no. Saturday.
Sunday. We'll put up the polls. We'll put up the polls Friday. Tomorrow and Saturday. You vote.
There you go. You heard it.